Assalamu alaikum. Surah al-Sharh, the Qur'an's chapter 94, was revealed during hard times in Mecca. It was revealed right after Surah al-Duha, chapter 93, as an independent extension for the subject matter of the previous surah, further enforcing and enriching its message. In Surah al-Sharh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses his Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reminding him of some of the great divine blessings that have been bestowed exceptionally upon him. By enumerating these favors, Allah gives His beloved Messenger reassurance of much well-being, not only subsequent to hardships, but also even concurrently with every hardship. The concluding ayahs encourage the Prophet to remain steadfast in worship and devotion, and through the arduous responsibilities and hardships that he had to undergo through the delivery of the divine message to people, they reassure him that he will always enjoy the protection, care and guidance of his Almighty Lord. Have we not caused your chest to expand for you, and lifted off you your burden which had weighed down your back, and exalted your reputation for you? Thus, without a shadow of doubt, there is ease together with or close behind hardship. Indeed, together with or close behind hardship, there is ease. Therefore, once you're done, tire yourself out and aspire to your Lord and yearn for Him. The surah opens by posing confirmative questions that enumerate to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, very imposing divine favors that have been bestowed upon him. The first comment to make at this near literal sub-basic level of rendering is related to the first of the surah's three opening questions, which goes, Alam nashrah laka sadrak? Have we not caused your sadr, your chest, to experience inshirah or sharh? The idiomatic expression sharh or inshirah al-sadr is explicitly understood in Arabic to refer to the feeling of the spiritual expansion of the chest and of its being filled with a pleasant and comforting feeling. Another comment to make at this level of rendering is related to the preposition ma'a in inna ma'al usri yusra, which is repeated twice, which basically means together with. Ma'a basically means together with, but may also be used to mean close behind or soon after, as for example in saying ma'al matari tuladul haya, soon after rain life is reborn. Finally, the imperative verb in وَإِلَى رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب is clearly marked as meaning both aspire to and yearn for. Aspire to and yearn for. A first glance at the surah's starting sentence shows that there is a speaker and an addressee in Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Have we not caused your chest to expand for you? The addressee is an unidentified single male, whom we have recognized throughout the Qur'an as generally being the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, which is the case here. And we realize, in the light of our familiarity with Qur'anic style, that he is being addressed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, speaking in the royal we, thus giving the topic at hand extra solemnity and grandeur. This is why my translation of this surah's opening goes, O Messenger Muhammad, have we not in our all majestic glory caused your chest, etc. And because the spiritual expansion of the chest and the feelings related to it may well be believed to apply to the heart within the chest, the commonly understood connotation is added there. So have we not caused the heart that you carry within your chest to expand for you with spiritual elation, gratification, and poise? Notice that to expand for you actually means to expand for your advantage. As a favor you're in need of, that we, your Lord, have kindly bestowed upon you. This is why I add the connotation for your ennoblement alone. And here I insert alone because the sentence structure, أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ, instead of the natural أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ صَدْرَكَ, أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ صَدْرَكَ, without لَكَ, or at least أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ صَدْرَكَ لَكَ. So this sentence structure stylistically confirms that this divine favor has been bestowed specifically upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This is grammatically achieved not only through the insertion of the prepositional phrase laka, for you, but also through the employment of the literary device of taqdeem wa ta'khir, of anastrophe or word transposition, whereby this prepositional phrase for you is transposed to a location between the verb and its direct object to indicate particularity besides shedding emphasis. After this initial question, and in the light of the fact that negative questions confirmatively imply a positive answer, I immediately bring in the connoted reply, indeed we have. And then comes the second question regarding the second divine favor to the Prophet of Allah. وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ الَّذِي أَنْقَضَ ظَهْرَكَ. And have we not lifted off you, anka, have we not lifted off you exceptionally your heavy burden? Your heavy burden. Heavy because it was one which had so profoundly anqada dhahrak, weighed down your back. Anqada, literally meaning had caused your back to creak, to send out naqid. And I insert the word exceptionally there because the direct object of the verb, due to the text's employment of the same stylistic device of grammatical transposition in this sentence as well, وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ, instead of وَوَضَعْنَا وِزْرَكَ عَنْكَ. And this second affirmative question is once more followed by the connoted emphatic answer, indeed we have. And next comes the third question, وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. And have we not exalted your reputation so high, لَكَ, all for your advantage alone, and have thus raised you in honor. Here again, we notice the same anastrophe at work, transposing the prepositional phrase leka, for you, between the verb and its direct object. And there follows my insertion of the commonly understood connotation, indeed we have. After the three confirmative questions thus remind Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, of his Lord's great care for him, he is led to the conclusion that فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. فَ means in the light of what's been said, meaning as we have cleansed your heart of everything negative and filled it with everything positive and noble, as we have relieved you of your burdens, and as we have granted you the most honorable stature amongst people, thus, O Messenger, be sure that inna ma'al usri yusra. Inna is an emphatic tool, leaving no place for apprehensions or misgivings. So be sure that without a shadow of doubt, there is great ease coming about. Great ease. Great ease because the indefiniteness of the noun, yusr, indicates an abundance of it. What rhetoricians call التنكير لغرض التعظيم أو التهويل. So there is great ease coming about, together with or close behind every trial of hardship. Every trial of hardship. Every, because the definite article al in al-yusr, al-yusr, inna ma'al usri yusra, because al-usr indicates all inclusiveness of the noun attached, which we call al-istighraq. So every trial of hardship, ma'al usri, al-usri. And next, the same affirmative statement is repeated, that inna ma'al usri yusra, indeed, together with or close behind every trial of hardship that ever comes about, there is much ease, yusra. Yet, it is worth highlighting here that this repetition of the sentence, inna ma'al usri yusra, does not only serve the purpose of emphasis, which is well understandable, but it rather subsequently enriches the meaning of the repeated statement. You see, the word usr, that is hardship or adversity, is prefixed by the definite article al in both sentences, which means that both sentences refer to one and the same case of usr. Definite, it's definite. Whereas the word yusr, inna ma'al usri yusra, there is no al. The word yusr, that is ease and relief, is both times mentioned as an indefinite noun. So it is some different shape of yusr each time. In total, we have two different shapes or instances of yusr, of ease and relief, against each individual shape or instance of usr, of hardship or adversity. And the implication of this is that no usr, hardship, can ever beat the double or multiple shapes of yusr, of ease, of relief, with which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has benevolently surrounded it. Another implication may also be that soon after this brief life on earth, every usr, adversity or hardship, will be repaid with a lot of yusr, with a lot of relief, for those who are patient and content with Allah's all-wise will. Thus, we may take any of the two applicable implications and consider it as being repeated twice for the sake of emphasis. Or we may take the first case, the first time the sentence is mentioned, inna ma'al usri yusra, to be related to Allah's bestowal of ease and relief alongside every case of difficulty in this life, and to take the second case as referring to Allah's generous compensation in the afterlife for every hardship met by believers during their earthly life. After these heartening tidings, the final move in the surah moves in so gracefully, beginning with the adverb fa, once again, which we have just explained as saying, in the light of what's been said, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانصَبْ. Therefore, once you are done with duties, farigha is faragha means to be done with responsibilities. Once you are done with duties, fansab. The word nasab, the noun nasab, means exhaustion or extreme tiredness, and the related imperative verb insab hence means tire yourself out with all your heart, I add. With all your heart, to which I add to perform devotions, which is the meaning derived from the elaboration that the next ayah provides. وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. So, tire yourself out with all your heart. Why? To perform devotions. How do I know? And aspire thus to your Rabb. وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ. Aspire thus to your Rabb, your Lord, nurturer and guardian, and yearn for Him. But wait, the grammatical structure of this last sentence, وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب, gives extra richness of meaning to this rendering through the fronting of the prepositional phrase to your Lord. The prepositional phrase to your Lord, which is moved ahead of the verb وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب, which signifies particularity of purpose, إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ, while adding emphasis. So the meaning that this sentence turns out to give at this basic linguistic level becomes, and aspire thus but to your Lord, nurturer and guardian, and yearn but for Him alone. Thus the surah ends with this instruction to the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, and of course to every one of his followers, to have full trust in Allah's wisdom and to remain patient and resilient through life's trials and tribulations, while striving diligently to be ever close to Allah through constant worship. O Messenger Muhammad, O most dutiful slave, and our last and most esteemed Prophet and Messenger, continue to be dutifully grateful for the bounteous blessings that we have bestowed upon you. Have we not Allah, your one and only Lord and Deity, and your Almighty Guardian, in our divine oneness and our all majestic glory, caused the noble heart that you carry within the sanctuary of your chest to expand for your ennoblement alone, with spiritual elation, gratification, and poise, as we have never done and would never do to anybody else? Have we not endowed your heart with every virtue, softened it with utmost honor and mercy, purified it against every vice and imperfection, cleansed it from ignoble instincts that are typical for other humans, filled it with the wisdom and knowledge of prophethood and with the light of faith, and thus made it ever open for every goodness, perfectly fitted for harbouring the divinely revealed guidance and law, and for the keen fulfilment of the duties of complete servitude to us, in order that you alone be the ultimate model that is forever to be followed by all people as you convey our message to them with sagacity, patience, endurance, and kind-heartedness. Indeed, we have. And have we not, after thus ennobling you with prophethood, lifted off you exceptionally your heavy burden, which had so profoundly weighed down your back, all the loads of worry about whatever past imperfections on your part as a human, by forgiving you everything and making you sinless, all the loads of restlessness that you long felt regarding the sick traditions and misbeliefs of the people around you, by revealing to you our flawless law to convey to them, and all the loads of anxieties and concerns you always had regarding the guidance of people to the truth, by taking care to ease the mission for you. Indeed, we have. And have we not exalted your reputation so high, all for your advantage alone, by naming and describing you in all our revelations, and in the teachings of all our prophets and messengers sent before you, and by allowing your name alone, ever since you have received our final message to deliver to humankind, to be eternally annexed to ours, mentioned alongside our name every time we are glorified, everywhere in the heavens and everywhere on earth, in every believer's shahada, testimony of Islam, and their every supplication to us, every salat, ritual prayer to us, every adhan, call for prayer times, and every sermon, and have thus raised you in honour far above every other being that we have ever created, that complete obedience to you has been made a necessity and an obligation for every believer in us, and that you have alone been granted the privilege of the greatest intercession for believers on the Day of Judgment. Indeed, we have. Thus, O most esteemed Messenger, have full confidence in us, your Almighty Lord, benevolent Guardian and only Deity, and never be dismayed by the adversities of life that come along your way, nor by people's unbelief or their wrongs against you, your message, or your followers. And be sure instead, and despite all adversities, that without a shadow of doubt there is great ease that may lie concealed from people's limited awareness, coming about together with or close behind every trial of hardship. Indeed, together with or close behind every trial of hardship that ever comes about during the earthly life, there is much ease from it that is soon to demolish it by your Lord's mercy, whether during the brief earthly life or in the eternal afterlife. Therefore, do not concern yourself too much, O most dutiful slave and most esteemed of humankind, with these transient adversities and with other worldly matters. Instead, once you are done with the duties of da'wah, of inviting people to the truth, or of life in general, tire yourself out with all your heart to perform more and more devotions to us, and aspire thus but to be ever in the favour of your benevolent Lord, nurturer and guardian, and yearn but for earning the pleasure and the reward of Him alone.